Hello, this is Bill Gallagher with Straight Talk. Nice to be back with you. I'm pretty excited that we have a 4 or 5 part series through the holidays called Healthy Boundaries with Family During the Holidays. Now, many people have told me through the years that unfortunately some of their holiday activities and gatherings are very stressful. Every year, they say, we go through certain activities that we actually have to endure. They complain about it before the activity. They grumble after the activity. It can be anything from an uncle that has a drinking problem that every Thanksgiving is in the corner mumbling and very drunk. It could be another family member that says inappropriate things at the dinner or gossips or hurts people's feelings. But the interesting thing is, although there's a lot of complaining and although there's a lot of grumbling, nobody says anything to those individuals. So call it a family culture, call it it's only once a year, but the issue is there needs to be boundaries. There needs to be changes. There's a phrase that I love to say anytime I talk with individuals that need healthier boundaries in their life, and it goes like this. In life, you get what you tolerate. So how are your holidays going to be? Let me give you an example. A couple goes to a counselor, husband and wife goes to a counselor, and the counselor asks them how he could help them today. The wife says, well, I have a concern. I'm losing respect for my husband. And the counselor says, whoa, that sounds pretty serious. Tell me about it. She says, well, every year, we have 2 little children now, and every year we've talked about, in the last 3 or 4 years, we've talked about creating our own family traditions. And my husband agrees with me that that's something that we should do. There's only one problem. What's that? Well, the history of our family, my husband has 3 brothers, so there's 4 fathers, and they're all married, and they all have children. The problem is this. About every October, his father calls all of us and announces where the family gathering will be for Christmas this year. He's very strong, he's very convincing, he's very powerful, and his sons are relatively passive. And so nobody wants to talk to the dad about creating their own family memories now. And so when I bring this up to my husband, come on, honey, we've talked about going to the snow on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. He turns ashen white because he fears having that conversation with his father. Therefore, I don't respect him. I'm losing my respect. I want my husband to step up, protect the family, and create our own memories. There's only one problem. We'll call him Joe. Joe, the husband, is shy. He's never really talked to his father about something that would be important to him and his family. He just sort of kind of caves, really, to what his father and mother want to do every year. So the counselor turns to Joe and says, Joe, is that true? Do you feel that your wife is struggling with you and your inability to have good boundaries with your parents? And he said, that's true. Then he said, Joe, do you want to learn how to do that? And he said, yes. So the counselor then said, okay, well, we're out of time. Let's meet in a couple of weeks. And when you come back together, we'll come up with a game plan or a script of what you can actually say to your father. So the only problem that happens next is that the father calls his son Joe earlier than expected. They didn't have the opportunity to get back to the counselor to come up with a respectful script that he could share with his father. And so when his father called, Joe didn't know what to say. And the father said, "We're coming to your house this Christmas. That's what we've decided. All four of the brothers and the families, we can't wait. We're coming to your town. We're coming to your house. We're going to have a great time." And Joe froze. And the father said, "What's going on? Did I lose connection? What do you got to say, Joe? Are you on? We're coming to your house." And Joe panicked. And he took the phone, we'll call her name Mary, his wife, and he said, "Here, talk to Mary." Of course, the counselor said, "Joe, this is the very reason that you're sitting in my office for counseling. You need to step up, talk to your father." And he told the counselor, "Yeah, but we didn't have a chance to get a script." And he goes, "Okay, well, let's just do that right now." So the first thing that I want to tell you, we'll just step away from that story. Maybe you're like Joe and Mary. And, in this sense, we can use them as an exact example. You're the wife, your husband's not stepping up, the parents are powerful. You don't want to do this again. You do want to start having your own Christmas memories made, but you don't know where to begin. And so the counselor sat down with him and he said, "Well, let's talk about what a good, healthy boundary should look like. First of all, it should always be respectful. Never mean, never rude, never hot-headed. It should always be respectful. You're talking to your parents. It should be very, very respectful. Number two, you and your wife should always be on the same page. And so you work out a plan as to what you want to say to your parents and why that's not going to work for you for him to come to your house." And the counselor said, "By the way, what were you planning this Christmas week?" And they said, "Well, on December 24th and December 25th, we're going to go to the ski slope with our kids." And that's the exact days that the father said he was going to be here. And so the counselor said, "Well, that's simple. Just simply share with your father. Very important to be respectful. We do want to see you Christmas week with all of the brothers and the families. However, on the days you've asked for, we are not available. We've made previous plans to go to the slopes." Now, when you draw a boundary, you have to be unified with the person you're drawing it with, respectful, and very, very clear as to why that won't work for you. Apparently, the mother and father accepted it, but here's the most interesting thing that I can leave you with until we meet together next time. The other three brothers had the same problem. That's why all four families did whatever the father wanted every year. And so guess what they did? When someone in the family gets healthy and strong and has courage, usually it's a good example and other people follow. The other three brothers did the same thing, and it changed the culture of that entire family. If this is a video, and we're going to do part 2, 3, 4 on this, about healthy boundaries through the holidays that means a lot to you, or you know a relative or a friend or anyone else that goes through this every holiday, please like and subscribe and share it with your buddy or your friend or your relative. 2021 holiday season can be a turning point the rest of their life as a family. I'll see you next time.